Hello everyone. In this video, we'll be solving Cambridge AS Level Information Technology Paper 2. This is the specimen paper for examination from 2022. You have been supplied with the following files. These are the files required for this task. So from step 1 to 4 is the video editing task, which has been already done. You can see the link in the description. I have uploaded it. Please check the description for the link. So in this video, I'll be doing the spreadsheet task, which starts from step 5. So you can see the descriptions given here. Tavara Transport have asked Planet Saviors to help them reduce their carbon emissions from their buses traveling on a number of routes. They need to identify the buses that emit more carbon dioxide than expected. For their calculation, they will assume that all seats on all buses are occupied by a passenger. All times must be set to this format, HHMMSS format. Now open and examine these files. So S2 bus and S2 trips. So these are the two files, S2 bus and S2 trips. Save the S2 bus trips as a spreadsheet with the file name bus trips followed by your sender number and candidate number. So file, save as, we have to save as a spreadsheet. So save it as Excel workbook. It must be saved as bus trips followed by your sender number and candidate number. See. In your bus trips spreadsheet, insert appropriate formulae in row 17 to calculate the total trip time for each bus. So first let us see what this data is about. You can see here in the first cell, expected carbon dioxide level for each passenger per minute is given. Here this is the value 0.1. Then you can see there are some bus numbers given. These are the bus numbers given and the departing times are given here for each bus number, and it arrives in, there are many stations or many destinations to which the bus is traveling is given here. This is the time taken to reach each destination. These are the time taken by this bus. For example, bus number 1 to reach these destinations. These are the time taken. So here the first step is in row 17 to calculate the total trip time for each bus. So the total trip time is the sum of all this. So you have to give equals sum formula. I'm using a simple formula, sum formula. Just select all these cells. You can see the formula here. This is the formula. First we have to make this to the format HHMMSS format as given in the question, this format. So let us do that. Right click, format cells, click on custom. You can see custom here, HHMMSS format, custom HHMMSS format. Okay, so it is in the proper format. Now you need to replicate this formula for all the buses till here. You can just drag it so that the formula is replicated. row 18, in row 18, look up the number of seats on each bus. Look up the number of seats on each bus. So for that we need to use this file. In this you can see the number of seats for each bus. Number of seats is given. So this is the bus number. For each bus the seat number is given. For example, for bus number 70, the number of seats available is 12. So we have to use a VLOOKUP function here. In row 18, I'll be using a VLOOKUP function. It is equals VLOOKUP. You can click on FX. Now here the lookup value will be the bus number, because the number of seats are given according to the bus number. Then the table array is this file. You can select the complete data. So this is the table array, and we need the seat number is given in the third column. You can see the number of seats is given in the third column. So column index number must be 3, and range lookup is 0, as we need the exact match. If you need approximate match, you need to give 1. Since we need the exact match, we give 0 here. Give OK. So you can see the seat numbers here. Replicate this till the end. So this is the formula. This is the formula which I have used for finding the seat number. Now in row 20, to calculate the total kilograms of carbon dioxide emissions for this trip, use only the hour and minutes from the total trip, rounding the number of seconds to the nearest minute. So here we have already calculated the kilograms of carbon dioxide carbon dioxide emissions used per passenger per minute. This is the one, and this has to be, so this is per passenger. So for the whole bus it will be, this is for one passenger. So for the whole bus it will be this one multiplied by this. And for the whole trip, it will be, this is per minute. So we have to convert all this to minutes, and then we have to multiply these three values. That is how we have to do. Now in order to convert this into minutes, I will extract the hour from this and multiply it by 60 so that it will become minutes. Then we have to extract the minutes from this. We have to add that, and then seconds should be only taken if it has to be rounded. That means if it is more than, if the second value is more than 30. Here it is 19, so we need not round it off because it is less than 30. 30 means half a minute. Half a minute means 30 seconds. So if it is 30 or more, then only we need to round it to 1 minute. So that's what we have to do here. So first equal to, I'll extract the hour of the total trip time multiplied by 60 plus minute of this one. We are converting everything to minutes. So hour multiplied by 60 plus minute multiplied, so minute just as it is, and then we need to give the formula in such a way that if the seconds is greater than or equal to 30, that means if it needs to be rounded off, we have to round it to 1 minute. So if second of this one greater than or equal to 30, if it's greater than or equal to 30, it has to be rounded off to 1 minute. If second of this greater than or equal to 30, it has to be rounded off to 1 minute. Otherwise, no value, nothing should be there. So I'll just give 0. So I have used an if formula to round off the second to 1 minute. So this is the total number of minutes in the total trip time. So this total minutes I'll just enclose within a bracket. Now we need to multiply this multiplied by the number of seats, that is for the whole bus, then multiplied by the carbon dioxide emission per passenger per minute. So this is how we have to do this task. Step row 20. This will come, if it comes in the time format, please change it to general format because we are using the time format here. Go to format cells, set it as general. You can see, set it as general. Give OK. Now this is the total kilograms of carbon dioxide emission for the whole trip for the bus. So replicate the formula. Buses are grouped by the number of seats. Insert formulae in row 24 to calculate the number of buses in each group. So here you can see there are buses are given according to the number of seats. So this means 12 seats, 15 seats, 16 seats, like that. So we need to find the number of buses in each group. That means we need to find the number of buses with 12 seats, number of buses with 15 seats, like that. So we have to count from here. These are the number of seats in each bus. From this row we have to count the number of buses. So since we have to count based on a condition, that means in this cell we'll be counting the buses with 12 seats. So our criteria for counting is 12 here. So I'll be using a count if function. So equal to count if, click on fx so that you get the wizard, the range. So the range will be this one. Here we see the number of buses. So this is the range. You have to make this absolute by pressing F4 on the keyboard so that we can drag it to all the cells. Otherwise it will make changes. Since the range has to be fixed for all the buses, we are making this absolute. Now criteria is this one. In this cell we are counting the buses with number 12. So this will be relative as this need to change for each bus. So give OK here. Now you can see there are 2 buses with 12 seats. Now you can replicate this for all the groups. So you can see there are 0 buses with 15 seats. There are 10 buses with 16 seats, like that. Now next one. Row 25, to look up the number of buses in each group that meet the expected carbon dioxide levels. In row 25, to look up the number of buses in each group that meet the expected carbon dioxide levels. So you can see here, this is the expected carbon dioxide level. This cell B1 is the expected level. Here now it is given 0.1. It might change, so we have to use the absolute reference for this cell in the formula. So in this one, what we have to do is we have to find the number of buses in this group. In this group means the buses with 12 seats. How many buses are meeting this expected level? So there are two conditions. We have to count the buses according to two conditions. The buses should be in this group. That means should be with 12 seats, as well as it must meet this carbon dioxide level. So we have more than one condition. So we cannot use count if here. We'll be using count ifs. Count ifs. Start the bracket, then click on fx. Now you can see criteria range 1 and criteria 1. So criteria range 1, first we have to check whether the bus is in this group. The number of seats of the bus is 12 in this case. So the criteria range 1 is the row in which the number of seats are shown. So this is the row in which number of seats are shown for each bus. So you can see this is the range. Now as we did before, this must be changed to absolute since we need to replicate the function. Now the criteria is in this one we need to find in this cell we are going to find the number of buses with 12 seats. So this will be the criteria. Now next criteria range is we have to check whether the bus meets the expected carbon dioxide level. So the levels are given here. So this is the range. This is the range. So this one also you must make it absolute. Now the criteria is it must meet this value. That means it must be less than or equal to this value. So you give less than or equal to this value. It must be absolute because we need to replicate it to every cell and it needs to be fixed. So it must be absolute. So make it absolute. And now whenever you give an absolute value here or any other cell reference, in order for the system to understand it is a cell reference, we need to give an ampersand here to show that it should refer to the address of the cell. And here the relational operator must be in double inverted comma. So this way we have to give the relational operator in a double inverted comma, then the cell which is referenced absolutely, and to show that we are directly addressing the cell, the and sign must be given here. Give OK. So the formula is like this for this cell. This is how the formula looks like. The range, which is the number of seats range. This is the required condition B23, this one. Then this is for the expected levels of carbon dioxide, and this is the condition for making sure that it meets the level. So now you can replicate this. You got the buses, which number of buses that meets the carbon dioxide level. Now in cell 26, to calculate the percentage of buses meeting the expected carbon dioxide levels. So usually we calculate the percentage by dividing the number of buses that meet the criteria divided by the total number of buses. So here we know that the number of buses that are meeting the criteria are this one, and the total number of buses are the total of this row. So we can calculate the percentage by adding all this and dividing by the sum of all this. So we have to add all this here equals sum of all these values, because these are the number of buses that meet the criteria. divided by sum of the total number of buses. Total number of buses is this one. So this way we have to give. So you can see it is given in a decimal point. We can convert it into percentage. Just click here. So it is 61%. So this is the formula which I have given for calculating the percentage. Apply appropriate formatting to your spreadsheet. This must include all CO2 emissions displayed to 4 decimal places and kilograms of carbon dioxide displayed as integers. So we have to give the formatting. So the emissions must be 4 decimal place. So we have to select these cells, which is in row 19. These cells, right click, format cells. You can set it to 4 decimal place. Number, decimal place must be 4. I have set it to 4 decimal place. Okay. Then this one, the total kilograms of emissions must be set as integers. So right click, format, number, make it integer, 0 decimal place. So this way. So all these are shown in the proper format. And the time format we have already given as HHMMSS, and the percentage we have given as percentage symbol. Now next, in row 19, for each step, use conditional formatting to display the content of the cell as red text on a yellow background if the CO2 emissions is greater than the expected level. So this row 19, this row must be set to yellow background with red if it is greater than the expected level. So we have to use conditional formatting. On home tab you can see conditional formatting. It is used for changing the format of the cells based on a condition. So give highlight cell rules. You can give greater than which value? Greater than this one. Select the cell. So if it is greater than this, what formatting we have to do? That you have to click here, click on custom format. In custom format, fill color must be yellow and the font color must be red. That's what they have given, right? Background yellow, red text on yellow background if it is greater. So that we have done. You give OK and give OK. Now the same thing, white text on dark green background if this was not the case. So keep the selection as it is. Click on conditional formatting, highlight cell rules. We have to give less than or equal to. Go for more rules here because less than or equal to you can find here. More rules in that. Cell value less than or equal to, you can see here, cell value less than or equal to which cell? This cell. Click here, this cell. The format we have to set. The fill color must be dark green and the font color must be white. Okay. So now you can see all the values which are less than 0.1 is green and others are shown in yellow. So this is how you do the formatting. Save your spreadsheet as CO2 followed by your sender number and candidate number. So save this file, save as. You have to give CO2 underscore center number and candidate number. Save. Set the spreadsheet so that when it is scrolled, column A and rows 1 to 3 remain on the screen. So here we have to make sure these 3 rows and column A remains as it is even when we scroll down or when you scroll to the right. So the way to make the rows fixed is, suppose if we want this first 3 column to remain fixed, we have to use the freeze pane property from view. On view you can see freeze panes. So here you can see there are options for freezing top row, freezing first column, like that. Now suppose if you want to freeze the first 3 rows, what you have to do is you have to click on the cell below that 3 rows, and then if you click freeze panes, this 3 rows will be fixed. You can see even when you scroll down, these 3 will remain. Now same way, if you want to freeze the column A, so first what you have to do is you have to unfreeze panes, or here we have the option to give freeze first column, or you have to click here after the first column, click on a cell and you give freeze panes, it will be fixed. But in this case we need the 3 rows as well as the first column together. It has to be fixed together. So we have to fix the row 1, 2, 3 and also column A. So you have to click on the cell which is after first 3 rows and which is after the first column. That means this cell. This is the cell which is after the 3 rows and after the first column. After selecting this cell, you click on freeze panes. Now you can see when you scroll down, the rows will remain, and when you scroll to the right, the first column will remain fixed. So this is how you freeze the panes. Next, protect all cells in columns A and C, rows 17 to 20, so that they cannot be edited when the worksheet is locked. Leave all other cells unprotected. Protect the worksheet but not the workbook using the given password. So before protecting the worksheet, first we have to set the cells which are locked and which are unprotected according to the requirement of the question. So if you check this, press Ctrl A, right click, format cells, go to protection. You can see all the cells are locked. Now in this case we should only lock the cells which they have told should not be edited. All other cells should be unlocked. So what I will do is, first I will unlock all the cells. Now select column A and C. Keep the control key pressed. Then select the rows 17 to 20. So I have selected all this. Now right click, go to format cells. Only these cells we will lock. So it is locked now. Give OK. So these are the only cells which are locked. Now we have to click on review, protect sheet, and the password given is, so make sure allow all users of this worksheet to select unlocked cells. Many options are here. Here they told other cells should be unprotected. That means unlocked cells must be able to be selected or edited. So just give select unlocked cells. So all users can select the unlocked cells. The password is given like this. So type the password there. Okay. Confirm the password by typing it again. Okay. So now the worksheet is protected. You can see these cells, all these cells are able to be selected, and we can edit also You can see if I type something, it can be edited. But if you check any cell in column C, you are not able to select or edit column C, column A, or any of the rows here. But here you can select the cells. Other cells can be selected, but this cannot be edited. So this is how you protect the worksheet. Now if you want to remove this, in order to unprotect, go to review, give unprotect, and then you have to provide the password. Now save your spreadsheet as protect followed by your sender number, candidate number. So file, save as, save it as protect followed by your candidate number and sender number. Save this. So that is done. Now the expected carbon dioxide level per passenger per minute has been changed by the government to 0.07. Use your spreadsheet to model this change for these bus trips. So we need to just change the expected carbon dioxide level, should be 0.07. Press enter. You can see all the data has changed. Everything has changed here. The percentage has changed. So the modeling is working. Save your spreadsheet as model followed by your sender number, candidate number. So file, save as, save it as model. So this is the end of the task. So please keep watching my videos, like, comment and share. You can also watch the video editing related to this paper which is given in the description. Thank you for now.